It's unlikely that Space Marines' firepower is so overwhelming that they won't need melee. So the question is, which chapter has the best melee? Let's start off by looking at the contenders, White Scars, Blood Angels, and Space Wolves. So White Scars are super mobile, and there's loads of abilities and buffs that the faction has around advancing and charging. A big part of being strong in melee is actually getting into melee in the first place. They have good psychic powers like the 2+ to advance and charge, and there's a relic bike with a 16-inch move, and it can move through models and terrain. So 16-inch base move with an advance and can still charge. That threat range is massive. The whole army can also fall back and charge, which is nice, which means they can get into combat and fight first or change priorities. And they can also advance and shoot assault weapons with no penalty. So generally, this army is super fast. The super doctrine fits in nicely as well with a +1 damage on the charge, and there's a 2 CP strat to put a unit into this doctrine at any time. You can also create a smash character quite easily with a 1 CP strat to give them 2 warlord traits, and there's loads of nice ones to choose from. And just to highlight a few of the good smash characters they've got, you've got KOR'SARRO Khan. It's a great character that targets other characters as it hits on 2s. It rerolls wounds and damage against them as well. He's also a good buffing character too, with his +1 to wound and reroll hits of 1 within 6. So units to charge with him are going to be extra killy. The next smash character is Khan on Bike. It's a very fast, unnamed character, so you can take warlord traits and relics, so you can ramp him up really well to be a smash character. He can also be upgraded to a chapter master, so he can give out reroll all hits, but generally has a reroll 1's aura anyway. As we know, the chapter's all about charging. His melee goes up to strength 8 on the charge. So White Scars, super fast and very good at guaranteeing you those charges, which is all important. Now the Blood Angels. Got loads of unique characters and loads of options. Most things are taking jump packs, so they're really fast. The general chapter abilities are +1 to charge and +1 to wound. And the Assault Doctrine gives +1 attack in the first round of melee, as well as the extra AP. And Shock Assault stacks with this for an extra +1 as well. You can use a Priest, Strat or Psychic power to get a unit into Assault Doctrine early, so that's really worth it because the amount of attacks that units can pump out in Blood Angels is scary. One of the best Warlord traits Blood Angels got is Gift of the Foresight. The Warlord can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound and save each turn. So looking at special smash units this time, Sanguinary Guard, a must take for most armies and very fast, 30 points a model. They've got 2+ save and there's a -1 to hit them in melee, and of course they've got Armour of Contempt as well. So they're actually more durable than they ever were. They've got 3 attacks base +1 for Shock Assault, and if they're near the Warlord they get a +1 to hit, so that means they're hitting on 2s, likely with a reroll of 1. They get the +1 to wound, all this together is devastating. They have a special heroic intervention strat for 1 CP, which allows them to jump onto a unit within 6. So most people will try and steer clear of them, but they're so fast they're not going to. Next is the Death Company. Potentially not as killy as the Sanguinary Guard, but still a very hard hitting unit. 2 attacks base, but with Shock Assault, Black Rage and Chainsaws this can go up to 5 attacks each. You get the +1 to wound, which is good against any target. And the key reason for taking this unit is their Alpha Strike ability. You start with deploying them forward, then you use Forlorn Fury strat to give them a pre-game 12-inch move. Then you'll still get to move them 12 with the jump packs, and you get +1 to charge, so they're definitely in combat first turn. Blood Angels have so many units and characters that are dedicated to melee, and their chapter abilities are so strong. Now Space Wolves, loads of characters and probably the largest number of unique models for any chapter. They get a +1 to hit in melee, and they get an army-wide heroic intervention. The Special Assault Doctrine gives them exploding 6s, and you can access this early as well with a 1 CP strat or Psychic power. There's no army-wide charge buff as such like White Scars and Blood Angels, but loads of abilities spread across the faction. The Hunter Warlord trait is good, and if that Warlord makes a charge, which is likely as he gets +1 to your advance and charge rolls, and he can advance and charge, then for the rest of the game he'll have an aura of advance and charge. He can also fall back and charge. So your Smash Warlord is buffing everyone else to advance and charge. So looking at some special Smash units again, you got the Thunderwolf Cavalry, 40 points per model, and you can take them with a Storm Shield for an invulnerable save. 4 wounds is really tough, and then they can advance and charge natively. So they're hitting on 2s with their +1 chapter ability, 3 attacks each or 4 with Lightning Claws, which also gives them a reroll wounds, and then you get 3 additional attacks from the beast they're riding. You can also go for more damage threat by giving them Thunder Hammers, but then they'll be hitting on 3s but dealing more damage per hit. The WULFEN. Extremely melee focused unit, but a bit of a glass hammer. 20 points a model, hitting on 2s on the charge. They reroll charges, and this is a 6-inch aura for other units that are near them. They also always get Shock Assault, and if you bring them with the WULFEN Frost Claws, which you should, then they'll get 5 attacks each, and they get to reroll wounds. They are always in the Assault Doctrine, so always get that +1 AP on weapons, and the exploding 6s. Not the most survivable unit, you're not going to use them to objective hold, but they're absolutely deadly when they get into melee. There's too many other characters to go through, but loads of options, and each offers interesting buffs. A particular note to call out the special character Space Wolf Dreadnoughts, and these are absolutely great. So the verdict, drum roll, is Blood Angels. With Armour of Contempt, their melee units have become even more durable, and then points reductions for a lot of their key units, there's 2 points off a model for Sanguinary Guard and Death Company, just means that the melee is all the more potent. They are competing now for the best Space Marine faction overall, not just the best in melee. Let me know whether you agree or you're a die-hard Space Wolves or White Scars fan, but otherwise keep an eye out on the channel for some deep dive videos to come shortly. See you soon, bye!